Okay, so we have a new indie. Thanks to Kelly, right? It is called 60 Miles North. Yeah, I mean, it is directed by Edward Crawford and Jack Mulcahy. It is written by Edward Crawford. The film is produced by Jack Mulcahy, Claude Dale Farah, and Vince Rowe. It's executive produced by Peter Joseph Rabasco, Kim Parsley, Edward Crawford, and Alana Esperanza Blake, with line production from Sean Barnes, Heidi Caruso, and associate produced by Gil O'Brien and Artemis Ackerman. Spencer David Hutchings took care of the music. Trick Green was on cinematography. Gil O'Brien and Carl Moulton IV edit the piece. Edward Crawford took care of the casting. Nick Bohan and Johnny Del Toro were on sound mixing. All right, the cast. Well, Edward Crawford is Clarence Moran. His dad, John, is played by Jack Mulcahy. His mum, Dottie Ann, is played by Jane Dashow. Clarence's best friend, Craig, is played by Danny Doherty. His childhood friend, LT, is played by Latrice Tice. We've got his girlfriend, Chloe, right, played by Chloe Webster. Then there's Wild Fall, right? She's played by Audrey Kovár. Her sister, Ava, played by Claire Gainshart. There's Dr. Bennett, played by Marsha Ditillion. Dr. Stevens, played by Brendan Burke. Right, we've got Dr. Smith, played by Andrew Matthews. Clarence and Craig's landlord, played by Wayne Gurman. Barry, played by Barry Ribbs. That's probably our main lot of people, really. Is the agent there? Tim, played by Joseph Tudisco. Deborah, played by Lauren McCain. Laura, played by Bethany Sky. The cash grab agent executive, played by Logan Crawford. Right. The last agent is played by Laura Faye Lewis. Dan, played by David Stiller. Now the gist of the film. Right, after losing the role of a lifetime, an aspiring actor retreats to his hometown, faced with either continuing to pursue stardom or accepting a job in his family's trade. He embarks on a soul-searching journey when he encounters a woman battling Lyme disease who happens to be renting his childhood bedroom. An unexpected friendship develops, forcing them both to make life-altering decisions. Now, we don't get cash cab in the UK, but it's one of those shows that you'd heard of it, right? Now, I didn't know Ben Bailey wasn't the original host of that show, right? No, wasn't, right? It was actually Edward Crawford. So this was intriguing to learn and watch, right? And I think at the heart of this, we have this person who is coming to right with the mistakes they've made in the past, right? And it's about owning all of that stuff. I think sometimes we can, we want to blame the world for everything that's gone wrong, when you have to take that hard look and go, yeah, that was on me, right? I did that shit. No one else forced me to get behind a car after I've drunk, right? And you can try and paint it however you want, right? And go, well, I mean, they didn't call it drink driving. They just called it under the influence. You know what I mean? But it's all the same thing. It's the same thing, right? It's something that you should have disclosed, right? Because it is, Cash Cab was a driving show, right? So it's just these things like that was on you. You can't blame everyone else. And just having all that rage inside, not helpful, not helpful. And then you've got Wild Fool, right? Who's dealing with all of these health issues and no one is believing her, right? That was a tough one. There's, I've definitely been there, right? So you can relate with her. And it's just like, yeah, the issues that come up, and everyone doubting you, and you're thinking, am I going crazy? Right? So you buy all, what I mean? I feel the emotion of this was really where this won, right? Because you bought the emotion, you bought the hurt, the anguish, the anger, right? The fear, all of those things are very tangible. Now, I think some of the relationships could have been stronger, right? Like well, Wildfall and Clarence, right? The friendship, to really see how that developed, you know? Um there's a few other things, right? Like, why is LT? Why would Craig continuously want to give Clarence second chances? Because you do not like Clarence at the start. He is a shit. Clarence is a shit, right? But as I said, I think the emotional side of this film is its strength. And so you understand everything that is going on, right? You understand the situation Clarence is in, you know, whether you think he's right or wrong, whatever, you get it. You do get it. But you get, his parents, what his parents are trying to do. You understand Wild Fall, right? You understand Ava. You understand all of this. People trying to help, but not understanding situations, all of those kind of things, that was there. And then it's this kind of comeback story, redemption story. So that's always something that's compelling to watch, right? Something that you can really believe in and see. Everyone wants to see people win, people succeed, right? People come back from just a bad hand, right? And so we see these things. I think I think there's some interesting stuff here, right? Like, I don't know. I feel you can work while pursuing a dream. Now, I think you can't do it forever, right? Once you're getting, more serious roles, right? Once you've landed something and you need to commit more time and that kind of thing, then yeah, you might go, okay, I can't do the full time. But to get off your feet, right? No, to get on your feet, to get off your feet. No, to get on your feet, right? To be able to pay rent and that kind of thing. Yeah, sometimes you have to do a thing. So I don't necessarily believe that it's one or the other. You know what I mean? But I know some people that do. right? That some people think, well, I can't do this if there's a safety net, right? I need to cut all those cords. It's just whatever mentality you have, right? I thought, oh, what? Who? The young lady that played, yeah, Audrey Kovár did a great job with Wildfall. Did I say River earlier? Wildfall. Yeah, Audrey did a great job with that, because I think that was one of the harder roles, because you know what I mean? It's like trying to convey something that no one else can see. You know what I mean? Like, I think with Clarence, Edward can convey Clarence, because we see him lose that job, right? We see him have to move back home. We see all of those things. So it's easier to go, yes, that's what I'm showing you. But with Audrey, because Wild Fool, she's ill. And a lot of times, joint pain, just all of these things, nausea, dizziness, like it's hard to convey those things. But I feel she did a really good job of that. You did buy the family dynamics, right? All of Oh, no, Chloe. I think Chloe was Clarence's sister. Yeah, yeah. But you buy those dynamics, right? You bought that family. I mean, the friend groups, all of these kind of thing. I think that's real. That's there. And so this was an interesting film, because I think you do yeah, we see Edward's journey. You know what I mean? I think that was evident. It's interesting as well, because it's Edward and Jack's, right? Edward Crawford and Jack Mulcahy's directorial debuts. It's the first feature Edward wrote, right? They've worked on short films, but this was the first feature. So I think you can see that, right? You can see this is the first one. There are mistakes made, but it's still a strong effort, right? I think it still stands up, right? You can see what they're doing, right? You can buy into what's happening. Yes, as I said, there's a few things that could be strengthened, right? Some of those situations, you know what I mean? Those kind of things, some of the scenarios, right? But all in all, this was a good job. This was a good job. And I think it kind of also highlights the problem of symptoms being very similar to other things, right? That it's very hard to diagnose, that a lot of medical professionals do not want to listen to people when they're telling you, this is what I'm going through, this is what I'm experiencing. So I think all of those things are there. They're there, people. So if you want to check 60 Miles North, well, it's out today, right? It's out today. It's very fitting. You know what I mean? The film drops on my birthday. So, hey, you can find it on any VOD. You know what I mean? So, if you didn't know about Edward Crawford, what happened with him, the whole cash cab thing, it's all there in this film. It's all there in this film. So, people, go check it out. 60 Miles North.